Looking for great gifts for guys? They aren't easy to shop for. Maybe it's because men don't spend the 4 months leading up to Christmas dropping hints. Take the average guy shopping, and he'll keep his head down in the mall, praying to get through the experience without losing his temper. Women, on the other hand, will stop at window displays and point to something then say, "Oh, I love that." Boom, the man gets an idea of what she likes. Single quote. Even if you point to different things at the store or in a catalog, many men will shrug and say, "It's okay, but wow, look at that price tag," or "My buddy has one I can borrow." Some men spend months deciding which pants to buy. Once they've found ones they like, they buy a pair in every color, leaving no opening to surprise them with more. Ditto for shoes and underwear. My husband used to drive me crazy around Christmas and birthdays. He'd get into hobbies where the components were so specific, and he was so particular about them, that I had no hope of getting it right. These days, my son isn't much better with his specific requirements for video games he'll play versus ones I think he'll play but won't. I know I'm not alone when it comes to finding thoughtful gifts for men. My girlfriends are all equally frustrated this time of year. More than one has asked, why won't he just tell me what he wants? I half-jokingly suggested this is a man's way of getting us back for the other 364 days out of the year. That joke was not well received. Earlier this month I sent an email blast to guy friends of mine to ask what was their favorite Christmas present they received in the past 5 years. I wanted suggestions that they liked. At the same time, I didn't want them to think I was inquiring about their Christmas wish lists. That would have only led to the same response that drives women crazy. "Oh, anything is fine." We know better. We have closets full of Christmas presents we bought because anything is fine, but which have never been worn, watched, read, used or otherwise touched. We have proof that anything is not fine. And now, thanks to the responses I got to my email blast, we now have a shopping list for guys who just won't come out and tell us what they want for Christmas. Use it wisely. Single quote. A fly fishing fanatic raved about the Barracuda bag, which carries 12 beers or other canned beverages and keeps them cold in an insulated shoulder sling bag. He says it frees up his hands when he's hiking to his favorite fishing hole, so now he no longer has to carry a cooler. A candy addict was thrilled when his wife gave him this desktop 3 candy dispenser to hold his 3 favorite treats. One man who spent the spring doing a slew of projects around the house said he loved how this laser tape measurer meant he didn't have to climb a ladder every time he wanted to measure something higher than he could reach on his own. Single quote. "Every time I wear this I feel the need for speed," said the man who received this leather Air Force A2 men's bomber jacket for Christmas last year. According to the man who takes this with him to late-season football games, or just while doing outdoor chores, this 12-hour Zippo hand warmer is something he'd never have thought to get himself but is so glad his wife did. Single quote. One man's girlfriend noticed that he kept losing his keys because he'd toss them on the dresser and they'd slide right off. She saw I had a problem and fixed it with this. "I haven't lost my keys since," he explained. The leather-lined valet tray now holds his keys, cell phone, wallet, change and all that other stuff he used to dump on the dresser. "I'm constantly asked about this thing, but I won't let anyone else touch it," said one man whose job requires him to take copious notes during meetings. His LiveScribe pen transfers whatever he writes to any digital device and allows him to replay audio from that moment, too. Single quote. Using this triple pocket dop kit with an easy-to-clean vinyl interior made one man feel like a grown-up. "Before, I'd just throw my stuff in a plastic bag when traveling. Now I feel like an adult. I'd never buy myself slippers, but these are really comfortable, and they look cool, too," said the man who received NFL high-top slippers featuring his favorite team. Single quote. "I don't like my beard to look scraggly, but I learned the hard way that I can't trim it right with just scissors." He loves the facial hair trimmer with attachments that his fiancée gave him. This manly grooming kit with soap, shave gel, and oils and manly man scents was supposed to be a gag gift, according to the guy who received it from his wife. He'd been secretly using her expensive face cream, but denying it, so she thought buying this would get him to confess. Instead, he liked it even better than her stuff. Single quote. "I look like I know what I'm doing thanks to these, and they keep my clubs from knocking together in the caddy," said the golf-loving guy who still spends more time in the sand trap than on the green of these padded, waterproof golf club covers. One man who is now known for his excellent homemade craft beers got his start last year when his wife gave him this home brewing craft beer kit that makes 4 gallons of the good stuff. Single quote. This was a birthday gift in September, but I'd have loved it just as much for Christmas. It's my favorite toy, said the Star Wars enthusiast of this Millennium Falcon drone that lights up and makes noises just like the one he saw in the movie. The Amazon Fire Stick TV won rave reviews from the man who'd ditched cable in his efforts to get his budget under control. With this, he can stream from ESPN, Hulu, Amazon Prime and more, as well as play games. I have one and love it too. So there you have it, 15 great gifts for guys that are man-approved. Which ones would the man in your life like most? How to save money, shopping online, 7 ways to make cleaning faster, everyone's favorite meatloaf recipe. Single quote, single quote, single quote, single quote. Save.